I gotta give a shout out to Chuck, which is now over $30 million. Last night I brought them up and they were like at 25, and a few days before they were like at 18. This meme is just going crazy on base right now. Absolutely crazy. And that is one of the most stable charts you'll ever find in any meme coin project. That is pretty steady upwards. So good for them. Speaking of 30 degens, they're the ones that found this, and they have this in their portfolio, and it is skyrocketing. Anyways, what else is going on? Well, as for Bitcoin, bull market correction downwards, okay? And this is very encouraging. And again, it shows how tame our current drawdown really is. You look at some of the past drawdowns from past cycles. First one 49%, second one 71%, third one 36%, fourth one 63%. Those were the max ones. And this cycle, actually, this says 20%, but we're a little bit higher. We were at 23% or whatever, right? But it shows you how tame this cycle is. Imagine having a max drawdown of 63%, which we saw last cycle. 63%, that is insane. That would be going from where we are now into the 20s. Imagine that. Imagine how many people turn bearish if Bitcoin fell down to 20s right now. That would be absolutely insane, right? So again, it shows you how different this cycle is and how strong Bitcoin is. Despite falling down 20-something%, it's nowhere close to some of the previous drawdowns we had in previous cycles. Those cycles harden you, okay? It takes a lot of conviction and faith. You have to dig down deep to continue holding when something goes down 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% down, right? Having conviction holding down 20%, still hard, but not nearly as hard as those. That's why some of us just, ignore the volatility and we continue on our way no matter what happens, because we've lived through some of the worst times ever in crypto history. Grayscale unfortunately sold $43 million worth of Bitcoin yesterday. We had a little bit of outflow yesterday, even though the others mostly bought, like BlackRock bought 14 million. It was small buys from the other ETFs. Grayscale still, we always worry about Grayscale. 43 million ramped up. We had 2 green days of inflow. One that 0, and then we had a minus 43. But we'll see. We'll see how it is. We do have they're now dubbed the Japanese version of Microstrategy, Metaplanet, because they're following the same strategy. They just decided to purchase more Bitcoin. Another basically 20 Bitcoin, and now they have 118, worth about 7.4 million, which doesn't sound a lot like if you compare that to MicroStrategy or anyone else. But there are a lot of companies that are embracing Bitcoin now. So MicroStrategy is like leading the way. They're the case study, and now everyone else is like, hey, it worked out for them, so why not us? So it just goes to show you, you got more and more public trade companies, private companies, institutions, financial companies, banks, whatever. They're all starting to load up a little bit more, and it's all going to add up. This is why I talk about supply shock all the time. It's happening. There's only so much supply. Inflation rate was just cut in half, and the demand keeps going up and up and up and up and up, right? That's why you got to stay strong, stay focused, and continue to DCA so that the gains come to you. All right, and then speaking of gains, where are we going to see Bitcoin at? Well, this guy doesn't explain what moving average this is. He just refers it as this yellow line. But I'm sure it's some kind of moving average. And you could see every single cycle, Bitcoin either hits it or surpasses it. The last one, we barely hit it. But we didn't surpass. See, that's why Bitcoin should have gone to 100,000 in 2021, but because the Fed stopped it. If the Fed didn't announce rate hikes coming up, Bitcoin would have hit 100,000. That was like set in stone already, but we'll hit 100,000 this cycle, no problem. But you can see 2017, we also surpassed it while hitting 20,000. And in 2013, we broke in and hit $1,000. Okay, so first time 1,000, then we went to 20,000, then we went to 69,000, and now how high will we go? If we touch this yellow line right now, it will be around $125,000. But you can see the yellow line is starting to flip upwards, which means it could ramp up really quickly. By the time we hit it and surpass it, Bitcoin, this time around, if we're going to hit the top of the channel like the previous 2 cycles, that's going to put Bitcoin somewhere between $300,000 to $500,000. Right? So keep that in mind. If we're hitting the top of the cycle, just like in 2021 and 2017, Bitcoin is going to be like around $300,000, $400,000. That's the end of 2025, guys. That's not the end of 2030 or 2028 or whatever. It's the end of 2025. That's next year. And it's not the only thing that shows Bitcoin's going up. I mean, near term, we're in this pattern called Bullish Megaphone. It's funny, but it's true. But yeah, you could see what happens in a Bullish Megaphone, right? We're going to break that megaphone pattern and then utilize that support and then continue forward, right? And according to this, the estimation is 180,000. So let's say we don't go to 200,000 or 300,000 and we go to 180,000. You know what? Would I be disappointed? No. I think 180,000 nearing 200,000 is just fine. It's a conservative estimate, but you know what? I would be fine with that. If Bitcoin is at 180,000, Solana is going to be at like $3,000 and everything else is going to be sky high to the moon, so it wouldn't even really matter anyways, right? But of course, this cycle with so much money coming in, with the supply shock happening right now, and the ETFs causing so much FOMO, who knows? 180,000 could be where we're at the beginning of next year, not even the mid or end of next year. We could end this year around $130,000, $140,000. So we'll see.